Hello, and good day to you my friends. This video will talk about the evil spirit named Abaddon. The name Abaddon is derived from its Hebrew root, meaning to destroy. It is used 6 times throughout the wisdom literature in the Old Testament. Proverbs 15:11, 27:20 and Job 26:61 draw parallels between Abaddon and Sheol. Proverbs 15:11, Sheol and Abaddon lie open before the Lord, how much more the hearts of men. 2. Proverbs 27:20, Sheol and Abaddon are never satisfied, nor are the eyes of man ever satisfied. 3. Job 26:6, naked is Sheol before him, and Abaddon has no covering. 4. In Psalms 88:11, Abaddon is associated with Kabir, grave. Psalm 88:11, will your loving kindness be declared in the grave, your faithfulness in Abaddon. 5. In Job 31:12, Abaddon is described as a place of fire. Job 31:12, for it would be fire that consumes to Abaddon, and would uproot all my increase. 6. While it may be argued that Proverbs 27:20, referring to Abaddon as never satisfied, is a personification of Abaddon, Job 28:22 is the first clear reference to Abaddon as an entity that can speak and hear. Job 28:22, Abaddon and death say, with our ears we have heard a report of it. 7. Abaddon in Revelation, is the king of the abyss or bottomless pit who commands an army of locusts. According to Revelation 9:1-11, after the 5th angel sounds his trumpet, a star falls from heaven and opens the bottomless pit. A storm of smoke arises, and from the smoke, a plague of locusts emerge to torment, but not kill, men who lack the seal of God on their foreheads for 5 months. They have as king over them, the angel of the abyss. His name in Hebrew is Abaddon, and in the Greek he has the name Apollyon. Revelation 9:11-8. While the root Apollyon, the destroyer, is generally not used as a name in Greek writing. The Dictionary of Deities and Demons in the Bible notes that there may still be some connection with the Greek god, Apollo. Though Apollo was known as a god of prophecy, law, and purification, in his earliest accounts, he could both set plagues upon men and cure them. 9. For instance, at the beginning of the Iliad, after Agamemnon captures Chryses, her father Chryses tries to make a deal with the Greeks for her safe return. They refuse, so Chryses calls upon Apollo to intervene. Apollo does, causing a 9-day deadly plague to infect the Achaean army and cattle. 10. Perhaps this tradition is where the parallels with Abaddon, the destroyer, originate. Later Christian theologians sometimes reference this personified entity with Satan. For instance, in Robert Jameson et.al.'s commentary Critical and Explanatory on the Whole Bible, published in 1871, the authors describe Abaddon in reference to Rev 9:11 as follows. Abaddon, that is, perdition or destruction, Job 26:6, Proverbs 27:20. The locusts are supernatural instruments in the hands of Satan to torment, and yet not kill, the ungodly, under this 5th trumpet. Just as in the case of godly Job, Satan was allowed to torment with elephantiasis, but not to touch his life. 11. It is not clear whether these authors meant to equate Abaddon with Satan, or simply that this is the work of Satan and that Abaddon in this context refers to perdition or destruction. Something Satan is known to cause. Abaddon references in other writings. Aside from Revelation, most later writings depict Abaddon as a place rather than an entity. For instance, in the Babylonian Talmud, ER19a, Abaddon is listed second in the list of the 7 names of the underworld, Sheol, Abaddon, Barshacheth, Borshan, Tidhavun, Zalmuvith. And Eretz Hadhachtheth. 12. The 1st century AD text, Biblical Antiquities of Philo, also called Pseudo-Philo because it probably was not written by Philo, says, when the years of the world, or age, are fulfilled, God will quicken the dead, and raise up from the earth them that sleep. Sheol will restore its dead, and Abaddon its deposit, and every man will be rewarded according to his works. 3. 10:13. Similarly, Abaddon is mentioned as a place in several of the Dead Sea Scrolls, including 14. Thanksgiving hymns, Hell and Abaddon shall open, hymn 9. Thanksgiving hymns, from the hell of Abaddon, hymn 10. Thanksgiving hymns, the torrents of Belial shall break into Abaddon, hymn 10. Apocryphal Psalms, 1:1-11 by the curse of Abaddon, the bottom of hell, 4. The words of the heavenly lights, 4Q504 the great abyss and Abaddon. Much later, in 1671, Milton describes Abaddon in Paradise Regained, 4:624, as in all her gates Abaddon ruse thy bold attempt. 15. What Abaddon looks like. Abaddon's face from Francis Barrett's The Magus. Abaddon's face from Francis Barrett's The Magus. While most writings simply equate Abaddon to a place within the underworld, Louis Ginsberg goes to great extent to describe the 7 divisions of hell, including Abaddon, in his book, The Legends of the Jews. In The Creation of the World, Ginsberg describes hell as being comprised of 7 divisions: Sheol, Abaddon, Bir Shahah, Tidhayayan, Sha'ar Ma'at, Sha'ar Zal Ma'at, and Gehenna, each sitting atop one another. He also states, 16. It takes 300 years to travel the height, width, or depth of each division. It takes 6,300 years to travel a piece of land equivalent to the 7 divisions. Each of the 7 divisions has 7 subdivisions. Each subdivision has 7 rivers of fire and 7 of hail. Each river is supervised by 90,000 angels of destruction. Each subdivision has 7,000 caves filled with venomous scorpions. Hell has 5 types of fire: 1. Devours and absorbs, 2. Devours and does not absorb, 3. Absorbs and does not devour, 4. Neither devours nor absorbs, and 5. A fire which devours fire. Hell is filled with mountains and hills of coal. Hell has rivers of pitch and sulfur. Abaddon in magical practices. Francis Barrett lists 9 degrees of evil spirits in his book, The Magus, 1801. In it, Abaddon is listed in conjunction with the 7th degree, where the Furies live. The 7th mansion the Furies possess, who are powers of evil, discords, war, and devastation, whose name in the Revelation is called in Greek, Apollyon. In the Hebrew, Abaddon, that is, destroying and wasting. The Magus. Chap 7. 17. In S.L. Mather's Key of Solomon, Abaddon is the name of God that Moses invokes to bring destructive rains. And by the name Abaddon which Moses invoked and sprinkled the dust towards heaven, and immediately there fell so great rain upon the men, cattle, and flocks, that they all died.